What's up guys, it's Endymion, and today I'm doing a special video about something very near and dear to my heart. Today, it's all about my favorite superhero of all time, Spider-Man. Also, I will mostly be using footage of the Spider-Man PlayStation game because YouTube is annoying and likes to claim copyright when you use anything with Marvel footage in it, just so you're aware. Also, this video will have major spoilers for No Way Home, so if you haven't seen it, please go see it. Anyways, let's begin. As most of the world is aware, Spider-Man No Way Home came out and brought joy to everyone. I haven't heard or met a single person who hasn't loved the movie in some way. But the thing I love the most about No Way Home isn't the other Spider-Man, Daredevil returning, or what have you, but it's actually how the entire Home trilogy ends up being a reverse origin story for Spider-Man, and where it leaves Spidey in the end. See, my problem with the MCU Spider-Man has always been that he felt like he wasn't really Spider-Man. Sure, he shoots webs, climbs walls and whatever, but I never enjoyed how tied the character was to Iron Man. Peter in the Home trilogy felt like a mini Iron Man. Homecoming was a good introduction though, and I love that they stripped the Stark suit from Peter, so he actually has to rely on his own bravery and know-how to save the day in that movie. But then Far From Home goes way over the deep end, having these Iron Man sunglasses being a main plot device, and having Peter literally 3D printing his suits in an Iron Man made machine, and Mysterio is an ex-Stark employee. It just felt like the MCU really kept pushing Spider-Man to be the next Iron Man, when he shouldn't be. Because Spider-Man is better than Iron Man. He's his own hero, his own character. What makes Spider-Man interesting in the suit or not is that amidst all the crazy heroic stuff he gets up to, at his core, Peter is just a broke young man, constantly being punched down by a society that doesn't help or acknowledge him, and his situation forces him to juggle this dual life that constantly makes Peter wonder if what he's doing, the self-sacrifice of being Spider-Man, is worth the loss of his love life, his professional life, and his financial position in the city he loves and protects with his literal life. Which is why the MCU Spider-Man always felt weird to me. He knows the Avengers. You have to assume that Tony, to some degree, set up a trust fund or something for Peter so him and Aunt May will be okay when he passed. And that's all fine and dandy, but it made Spider-Man feel like in the MCU, like he was Spider-Man, but he didn't have any of the actual Spider-Man-like problems. And that's why No Way Home is so great, because Marvel finally decided to take the training wheels off and let Peter suffer. And with the loss of Aunt May at the hands of William Dafoe of all people, and the brilliant reboot-like plot device of Doctor Strange's magic spell making everyone forget who Spider-Man is, makes the ending of the movie feel like a solid reboot to a janky trilogy, full of highs and weirdly questionable lows. When Peter at the end of No Way Home is making the classic suit in a dingy apartment on a sewing machine instead of Iron Man's $1 million 3D printer computer from the goddamn future, it finally felt like Marvel, for even just a second, was giving me the true Spider-Man I always wanted. It's why the PlayStation version of Spider-Man, in my opinion, has been the best version of the character in years, in my opinion, because it has all the best parts of what makes Spider-Man, and more importantly, Peter Parker, so remarkable and relatable, but it's all modernized and it's so great. I really don't want Peter to be mini Iron Man or have everything he does be a sort of not serious joke. Spider-Man as a character thrives when he's in the jaws of misery, and the euphoric highs he can reach are only heightened when he pulls himself from that very darkness to show people that no matter how hard life punches you down, how uneven the odds are against you, you always can and should push yourself, even if it hurts like hell, to rise up and become greater than you were yesterday. That's why No Way Home was a great movie. Sure, it drags at times. The whole middle part where they're in Happy's apartment is kind of whatever and a little weird, but once Aunt May dies, that to me is when the MCU Spider-Man went from teenage mini Iron Man to finally actually being Spider-Man for real now. And it was glorious because no Iron Man suit or Doctor Strange birthday party magic was gonna bring back hot mommy Aunt May from the death from the hands of William Dafoe of all people. Peter was finally being taken seriously in a true and honest way to the character. I really hope in the next movie or trilogy of Tom Holland-led Spider-Man films that this ending isn't just a fluke. I really want Spider-Man to go back to basics. No Infinity War level threats, no baby Iron Man comparisons, or constant cameos from other characters. Spider-Man is strong enough on his own to stand. And the new trilogy just needs to show that this version of Spider-Man is worthy. I still think Tobey's version of Spider-Man is the best because he perfectly encapsulates what I love about the character, but I mean, Tom is still good too. He just needs to be roughed up more, and I would love to see MJ move on without him, Ned just not even know who he is, and have Peter just have a miserable hero-defining next movie where he actually needs to rely on himself, not Doctor Strange or some other Avenger, and save the day completely removed from the MCU's safety blanket of characters and convenient plot devices. And with the post-credits scene showing a piece of Tom Hardy's Venom symbiote being left in the MCU, hopefully the next movie has Peter becoming the symbiote Black Spider-Man, and they go for a darker tone with possibly Kraven the Hunter being employed by New York or the Kingpin to hunt down the corrupted black suit Spider-Man. Spider-Man is better than every superhero in my opinion, and No Way Home proves that the MCU can do a darker tone and deliver some of its best moments. And also, while I'm here, please make Amazing Spider-Man 3 with Andrew Garfield, and maybe even give Tobey a fitting send-off with a one-off Spider-Man 4 with Old Man Spider-Man. Dude, that would be, and it has to be directed by Sam Raimi. That would be amazing. Look, Spider-Man is the greatest superhero of all time, and I hope Marvel capitalizes on that in the next movie. No Way Home was a solid ending to an uneven trilogy, and I'm excited to see where Spider-Man in the MCU goes next. Well guys, what did you think of Spider-Man No Way Home? Where do you want the character to go from here? Let me know in the comments. Yeah, I know this video is different, but I like doing variety stuff. Let me know if you want to see more. Like the video, subscribe to give my life meaning, and share it if you want to. Thanks to my patrons for the support, and I'm Endymion. I'm actually nervous to make this video because I'm worried people don't want me to make anything non-Mass Effect related, but I think it's healthy for a channel to branch out here and there, and I'm a massive Spider-Man fan, so let me know if you want to see more. Thanks for watching, thanks for sticking around, and I'll see you in the next one.